You are now tuned in to the Butterfly Queen After Dark radio show featuring Ms. Motivator herself, Marsha Snead Williams. Marsha will focus on your keys to happiness and success in all types of relationships. As an international motivational speaker, life coach, media personality, and queen, Marsha has the insight required to speak directly to the heart of the matter and bring to light what you really want from a relationship and show you the paths to gain it. Butterfly Queen After Dark radio show contains adult conversations, so please put the little ones to bed. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And without further ado, we welcome to the mic the Butterfly Queen, Marsha Snead Williams.
Hello, hello, hello. It's me, the Butterfly Queen, Marsha Snead Williams. Welcome to the Butterfly Queen After Dark radio show. I have been waiting all month just to spend the night with you. And tonight we have a very, very exciting lineup. And tonight's topic, as you know, is self-pleasure, the art of pleasuring self. And I have some amazing guests coming on that will be introduced to you in a few moments. I'm waiting for my producer, Letitia, to step on in and help a queen out. But in the meantime, I have been doing all. Hello. I'm having technical difficulties here.
No, we can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me loud and clear? Oh, my gosh. You know how Butterfly Queen always messes up. Well, this is live radio, and I have to, kind of adjust myself. But anyway, as I stated before, tonight's show is the self-pleasuring, and we are going to focus on ways in which we find pleasure in rocking this planet. And I have some amazing guests coming on, and my producer will introduce them to you. Letitia M. All last month I called her Letitia D. That's because she is so dangerously devilish and all those other D words, but she's amazing. And the queen's been traveling around and doing some things, and I'm going to bring in my co-host, my ride-or-die chick, Rachel Satiafa, to kind of help me transition the mood and get comfortable with the show. But I want you to remember, every month I tell you to grab your Kool-Aid, your iced tea, your coffee, or whatever it is your favorite drink is, of course, your wine or your cocktail. Sit back, kick your feet up, and, by the way, put the kitties to bed because this is a grown-up talk show. But relax. Enjoy. This is your time to unwind and just simply, have a great time with me, the Butterfly Queen. The weather has been absolutely amazing, and I have been traveling all over the globe just enjoying. And that's what my life is about. So I want to bring on my ride-or-die chick, Rachel Satiafa.
Hey, darling.
Hey, dear. How are you?
I am great. I have been waiting for spring, and spring has sprung. Hallelujah. Hallelujah,
girl. You hear me having all these technical difficulties up here, but I tell everybody this is live radio, and it is what it is. But I think I got adjusted down. I'm sitting comfortable, and I got all dressed up for the show tonight. Got my hair pulled up, and I'm smelling really good out there. I'm smelling good, and I'm feeling good, and so we've been having a good time, Rachel, haven't we?
We have, and you're talking about you've been getting all ready to do the show. We get ready. We've already poured our wine, and I don't know if you have more clothes on. I take clothes off when I get ready to do this with you, like on the air like this, because I really want to get in the mood. I got my fan working and got a breeze going. I got my red Chablis over here. I'm ready to have a good time tonight with these guys.
Yeah, well,
on the show.
Girl,
on the show.
See, Rachel, listen, we're not even into the show yet. Don't give us kick off.
Okay. I'm ready. This is my season.
I'm ready, too. I am so ready. And I want my producer to tell, Rachel, did I tell you? We got 2 men tonight.
2? Oh,
2 men all to ourselves. Oh my gosh! Yes. I want you to sit back and relax and put at least something on, and let our producer, the amazing Letitia M, come on in and tell you about who our guests are.
Absolutely. So, first up, we have the amazing Dr. Love Jones. And to just give you a little bit about Dr. Love Jones, he's a motivational mindset coach and author. He was born and raised in Newark and Irvington. So, whoop, whoop, I know about those areas in New Jersey.
Yes.
I was actually in Irvington, just so you know, Dr. Love Jones, just last week, and I'm coming back next week, so I'm going to see you. But he also runs a motivational seminar series, and his message is to make greatness a standard while striving for excellence, and I love that too because that's one of my things. Now, before we bring him fully on, we do have a second male guest, as you stated, and so I don't want to be remiss of Sir James L. Thornhill. If you are a native...
Wait. Say it again. Sir James what?
Sir, Sir James L. Thornhill. I should say Sir James L. Thornhill. And he
What's the
is
L stand for?
I'm hoping love. Or
I hope so. Okay.
I'm sorry. Don't get it. I've been trying to work on her, Letitia. I really have.
I'm not supposed to feed into it. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, please just ignore her. She has been acting up all day. So go ahead. I'm sorry, Letitia and Rachel. Shush.
Okay. Absolutely. So Sir James L. Thornhill is a native of the historic Jackson Ward area in Richmond, Virginia. He is loved by the community. He has been doing so much art and murals around the city, so you've probably seen him on TV recently in the last couple of years because he does such amazing work. I was actually at one of the recent unveilings he had, so I definitely want him to tell a little bit about that. But this man has such an amazing history in what he does, working with the merchants and Second Street performers and just inspiring his style for what he does. So he definitely incorporates where he's from in his art and for his love for where he's from. So without further ado, I would love to bring these two men on. Hello, Dr. Love Jones, and hello, Sir James. And with that, I say adieu.
Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to the Butterfly Queen After Dark radio show. And you are here with myself and my ride-or-die chick, Rachel Satiafa. And before we get started, I want to apologize. I got to apologize for Rachel. She is very excited. It's not often that we have the opportunity to have two men all to ourselves.
Baby, I am excited. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Welcome. And we don't bite. And I gave a slight lead into what the show was about today. And it's really about the power of self-pleasuring. And the Butterfly Queen believes that pleasing ourselves is one of the main priorities in rocking this planet, is to be able to find some joy in the things that we do every day, but more importantly, be able to pleasure ourselves. So I have asked you guys to come on and share the airwaves with us for the next 2 hours and get the discussion started. I want to begin with Dr. Love Jones, who is my homeboy from New Jersey. Welcome, Dr. Love Jones.
What's up? What's going on? Hello, everybody.
Yes, I have Courtney and Mayanne. Yes, Rachel. He's young, so back off. Okay, he's
no. Okay. Look, I just have to say this though, okay, because I am the moral barometer for this show. So I would like to know the doctor's credentials. If he's calling himself,
we're going to get to that later, Rachel. Rachel,
okay.
You're just trying to find out. Some things that she asked are part of the show, and some things she asked are for personal information. We're not talking about
that. Just for our listeners. Okay, so we're going to qualify that later, okay, because I'm going to want to know.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So back off. So, Dr. Love Jones, I am so honored that you agreed to be on my show, and I have had the opportunity in the last, month of our connect following some of your work. I follow you on Facebook and social media and your Twitter and your Instagram, and you say some pretty powerful things out there. So before we get into the hot and juicy stuff, I want you to tell them the real deal about who you are, what you do, and what your passion is.
Well, good night. And first off, I want to thank y'all because I'm honored to be on the show. So I'm honored to be invited. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity. But as you say, my government name is Javon Jones. My other AK name is Dr. Love Jones.
Wait a minute. Dr. Love Jones. Now, you're my friend on Facebook as Dr. Love Jones, right?
Yes.
And you're my friend on Facebook as Javon, right?
Yes, that's my like page.
I thought two men were chasing me. Now, you just messed up my fantasy. I thought I had twins after me. Never mind. Okay, you're the same person. Oh, Rachel, it wasn't true. I just thought I had twins after me. But okay.
You still might be in luck because if you call himself a doctor, and I'm still trying to figure that out, but you might get two for the price of one. So let's just see. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Well,
okay.
that's actually do because I'm actually a Gemini. So yeah.
Oh.
You'll definitely get two.
So it's true. I do have twins. Okay, Dr. Jones, tell us about your platform and what you represent and what you've been doing around town.
Yes. Yes, my name is Dr. Love Jones, as they eloquently says, and I am a motivational orator mindset coach. Mm-hmm. What I do is just like a basketball coach teaches players how to play the basketball the right way, I teach you how to think the right way. I teach you how to get your mind going where you could be able to achieve success doing the right things, because just like there's law to physics and law to any other science, there's law to success. And if you don't follow that law, you will not achieve the success you require. And my thing is, without a mindset, you're not going to be able to achieve exactly what you want. Because if you have a positive mindset, you achieve positive things. If you have a negative mindset, you're only going to achieve negativity.
Okay. Well, that sounds really exciting. And, I am a motivational speaker, life coach. I've been for probably 18 years and just kind of flipped my practice in the last 4 to 5 years to focus more on relationships and how we connect. And the Butterfly Queen Show is just one of my platforms where I discuss love, sex, and relationships. So you know why you're here, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. And tonight we're talking about self-pleasure. And I guess I'm going to pose you the first question, and then Rachel's going to jump in because she's been writing about you all day long. So I won't pull her off you if it starts to hurt, unless, that's kind of what you like. But anyway, let me get back to the subject. It is my belief that it's important for us to establish what I consider pleasure rituals. I wake up every morning in a positive mindset. I speak positivity into the environment. I really try to live my life, staying away from negativity, gossip, drama. And one of my pleasures in the morning is really just sitting out in my backyard, even before the sun comes up, and kind of watching the sunrise. That's one of my pleasures. At least that's the one I'm sharing right now. And I have some other ones that I'm going to talk about later. But that's one of my ways that's one of the ways the Butterfly Queen pleases herself. So, Dr. Love Jones,
yes.
You want to share with me one of your ways that you pleasure yourself?
I would say through talking to yourself. Like, not, giving yourself affirmations.
Now, we're talking about you, not what you give to other people. For me. Get up in the morning. Okay, tell me.
For me, right. Affirmations. As in giving yourself affirmation by, talking, because as you say, talking like positivity, saying that gives me in a great mood, knowing that I can wake up in the morning. Because first off, I always want to know why people wake up cranky. Like, there's nothing happens to your day, but you're cranky. So one of the best ways to do that is, and which is something I love to do, is actually talk about, give myself affirmations, talking about I'm a winner, I'm great, I'm lovable, I'm handsome, I'm gorgeous.
You are handsome.
Oh, thank you.
Rachel, isn't he handsome?
Oh, absolutely. But I still say that, honey, you have that nice young voice, and I'll just say right now, I like young men. I just feel like, I mean, you can do that for yourself, but wouldn't you like a nice, older, more experienced woman to do that for you?
Right, Rachel, wait. I think we need to things, and just a minute, we're going to get to that later. We have 2 hours of the show, and you're already trying to seduce the men already.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sir James, I'm sorry. We're going to come back to you, Dr. Love Jones, and we're going to finish it. I want to give everybody a chance, and we're going to all talk together. And so James, good evening, baby.
Good evening to you, ladies.
Tell me a little bit about you, what you do, and then we'll get to the ways that you self-pleasure.
Okay, sure. First of all, thank you. I really appreciate you guys because we're like family. Haven't seen you in a while, but I always think about you. So I feel like I'm at a family reunion right now, so I might just kind of say some things. So I am an artist. I'm an aviation artist for the Pentagon. I'm a muralist. I have about 8 murals. I've got about 8 murals around the city, and I'm a figurative painter also.
Yes.
So right now, I'm working on a project with Mosby Court, right down Red Street in Mosby Court, which is our project area in Richmond. Mm-hmm. We're going to put 15 murals up, and we're putting community gardens. So that's going to be teaching people how to be self-sustainable through raising this garden, and also working with the kids to create this mural so they can take ownership of it. Working with colors that's going to brighten their thought, images that's going to encourage, and positive words that's going to encourage their troubled neighborhood.
That's really empowering. I mean, like I said, part of the Butterfly Queen After Dark shows, we talk about, love, sex, and romance. We talk about, just ways to feel good about life. But we also get to the meat and bones and, try to impart empowering things and people and places. And, that definitely sounds like what it is you're doing is you're empowering communities and you're empowering individuals in your work. And I've seen your work. I've seen your work up close. And I just want to tell you that I'm honored that you're on the show tonight. So now I'm going to get to the juicy questions, right, Sir James?
Okay, but tell Miss Satiafa that she don't have to put her clothes on. Back at you.
Thank you. See, that's
my
the
girl.
way you can tell we are old friends. He will allow me to be me. Thank you, boo. Thank you very much.
I got to live with her, okay? But let me tell you something. I want everyone to. I want to take a pause real quick. I want everyone to turn their computers down, off, or mute them because they're providing some feedback. And this is radio, so we got to have clear airways. So if you can do that, because I want everyone to hear everything that you have to say, James. So I don't know what my question was because you told Rachel, okay, Rachel's not going to put her clothes on. No matter how much you date her, she's going to be like this at the end of the show.
BQ, on a very serious note, James, I hope the listening audience has been able to, if you can't experience James Thornhill's work in the Richmond, Virginia area or in, D.C., around the Pentagon, you can always go online. But he really is just a very profound artist. With everything in him, he has a real different eye and a very sensual approach to the human form and being able to relay a message very powerfully in paint. So we're very happy to have you on the show, James. Seriously.
Thank you. Pleasure's mine.
We were pulling this show together. I kept thinking about people who be honest, open, and creative. And people
Definitely.
who would produce pleasure for other people. And I'm always often concerned, I'm wondering about people who provide pleasure, people who provide visual arts or motivational speaking like Dr. Love B. Or myself, I'm a coach, motivator. What ways do we stop and pleasure ourselves? And so when I said, Rachel, just ask our friend Sir James to come on and be on the show. So let's get to my juicy hot question, Sir James, because I know you. I don't know either. Have you ladies looked on his page? Go to Sir James, James L. Thornhill on Facebook. He is so sexy, his long locks, and you can just see some of his artwork. But Sir James,
and
tell me.
The L stands for love.
Yeah, we figured it out. You were right. Baby. You were right. I was thinking some other L words, like lick, lock. I had a whole bunch of them, but that's where my mind was at the time. I'm sorry.
Well, we can improvise. We can improvise.
But no, back to the question, Sir James, because I have to stay focused. We got a long show to go, and it's much too early for the butterfly queen to start flapping her wings. What ways, as an artist, you provide pleasure for others through your work. What ways do you pleasure yourself, and what do you feel about pleasure? Is pleasure a part of your life, and, more importantly, self-pleasure?
Most definitely, pleasure is a part of my life as a creator. I create pleasure through my art. When you see a painting, you find a sense of passion in there. You find a sense of sacred geometry in there. You find a sense of subtle subliminal seductions with colors. The colors that I use are intended to intensify your thoughts, are intended to gravitate you towards, are intended to make you calm, are intended to give you some emotional feeling. Most of my murals are the same way. When I'm painting them, sometimes I'm painting at night, and there's a sense of pleasure that comes over, like the universe is saying we are happy, we are well pleased with what you're doing. But my ritual, like in the morning, is I get up and I just give thanks, like the brother was saying, just thanks just to be here. Why are we here for another day? Well, apparently we got something right. So I'm so happy to get up in the morning. And then I go with my transcendental meditation for about 20 minutes, which takes me to a quiet place to get me ready for this day. And then from that, I do my yoga, sun salutation, just giving back yoga, stretching, exercise. That's pleasure. It's like you're massaging your own self. It's just that yoga principle. And from that, I start. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I want you to finish.
From that. Then my day, it's on the canvas. So either I teach over 300 kids a year. And during that time, I had an opportunity to give back, and which is still pleasure. It pleases them to hear that somebody that looked like them, grew up in the same neighborhood, is doing some things despite the art of the differences of what, we are stereotyped to be.
I'm going to interrupt you here, James, because I want to set this show out because I know that you're powerful in what you do. I've watched you for these years that I've been here in Richmond. We've been good friends, and I know that giving spirit that you have. And Dr. Jones, Love Jones, I want you to be able to, what we do here on the Butterfly Queen After Dark shows, we have dialogues. You can just kind of chime in when something, sparks your interest that you want to talk about. But I want to go back to talking about the importance of, really pleasuring ourselves. And I have had the opportunity to, just to do some, I always do research. I do research. Yes, our show is sexy. It's funny. It's hot. We talk about deep things. We definitely talk about empowering. But in my research, I'm sorry, would you like to say something? In my research, I have really focused this last month on just pleasure practices, pleasure rituals, and listening to motivational speakers such as yourself, Dr. Love, and you're just following people, listening to people who I find empowering, who live these tranquil lives, because many people know me, and those who listen to the show know that Butterfly Queen is really living. I try my best to live what it is I talk about. I live in love. I walk in love. I have made sure that I have, kind of extinguished any enemies in my life. I had to go back. There was a time that I was a very volatile person, or things, really got to me. I was upset. I went through depressions and all these different things like that. But I made the decision in my life that I was going to live life free. And living free means being free of all the things that bind us. So pleasure, once you live free, pleasure becomes a priority. And, some people just don't get you. And I find myself when I meet new people, I have to explain myself because they're like, oh, this suspect, this suspicious. But I mean, those of you who know me know that I live and walk like this best I can. So my question is to you all. I think when you're talking to listening audience, you need to give them some points of, you listed some of the things that you find pleasure, but then we're going to take a commercial break, and then once I do that, I want you to come back and tell me how you got to that place of pleasing yourself. And then we're going to stop playing games because I know Rachel is back there biting on her leather strap. We're going to talk about So we're going to take a quick commercial break here, and you guys take a deep breath, breathe, because it's going to get hot and heavy when we come back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Butterfly Queen After Dark.
James Thornhill, he knows that L stands for leather. That L stands for leather in his name.
God. Let me tell the people where we are. This is Marsha Snead Williams on the Butterfly Queen After Dark radio show. I want you to call in and talk to me, baby. We're going to get hot and juicy real soon. I'm saying, let's get to the point, Queen. Let's talk about it. We are going to get to the hot stuff real soon. But what I want you to do is I want you to call in with your questions, with anything that you want to talk about tonight, and call in and talk to me, baby. Call in on 646-652-2512 and press 1 so that you can talk to me. And I also want you to tweet me, baby, #ButterflyQueen. And stay tuned. Go fill up your drink and come right back. We're going to get hot and juicy. I'm just holding Rachel off.
The L stands for leather strap. I'm telling you, leather.
Commercial break. Save us.
Hey, Chef Jovi here of the Eatsperience Radio Show. Join me 10 a.m. every Thursday to explore recipes, best restaurants, and food spots in and around the country. I look forward to receiving your comments, so follow us on Spreaker.com to tune into the show. That's SPREAKER.com. And search MWHY Radio to join me every Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Eatsperience Radio Show. And remember to share your Eatsperience.
If you're the parent of a child with behavioral challenges that has been suspended, expelled, or just not able to make it in a traditional school setting, there is an alternative. Call the Metropolitan Day School today. Licensed and accredited grades K through 12. Call 804-321-2595. Financial assistance and after-school programs are available. Let's turn this school year around right now at the Metropolitan Day School, where Eagles soar. Call Ms. Thomas today. 804-321-2595.
Hello, I'm Sherelle of Fit and Flow Yoga Radio. Wake up with me every Friday at 6 a.m. and have a wonderful yoga experience. We'll explore meditation and discuss how various yoga postures can help relieve your everyday stress. We'll also make the connection between our faith and wellness. Follow us on Spreaker.com to tune into the show. That's Spreaker, SPREAKER.com. And also search MWHY Radio to join me every Friday at 6 a.m. for Fit and Flow Yoga Radio with Sherelle. And until next time, surrender to your strength and always embrace your flow.
Hello, everyone. This is the Butterfly Queen. I wish to apologize for any kind of static we're having, but this is live radio, and I'm just understanding that we're having a little feedback issue, so we're going to work on that, so please bear with us, and we're going to make it sound a lot better. So I'm going to do a little commercial, and that is we're going to talk about the Adam and Eve. It's the nation's largest marketer of adult products with millions of satisfied customers in the United States and all over the world. Founded in 1971, Adam and Eve is also one of the oldest names in the rapidly evolving adult industry. To learn more about Adam and Eve and their amazing products, visit the sponsor page on the MWHYRadio.com. So please visit Adam and Eve, because all can benefit from a little play. And also, I want to thank our sponsors, and for just being the sponsors of the week. May We Help You radio app. Please download it by visiting the Google Play App Store. or the Amazon App Store, and in the search, type in MWHY in search and get updates on the hosts, shows, and events. The downloads for the app are also available on the MWHYradio.com website. So that's it for the commercials. And again, we apologize here at the Maybe Help You Radio Network for any type of audio issues that we're having, but, you know, that's life sometimes, and you just kind of got to roll with the punches. So I'm going to bring Rachel back in, and what we're going to do today is we're going to just, you know, Rachel and I are going to talk, and we're going to try to bring in people to make sure that, you know, that the sound is smooth for you. So without further ado, let's go back to talking about pleasure. So, Rachel, are you with me, darling?
Yes, I am, BQ. I'm always here.
You know, we didn't have a chance to give our listeners an update on what we've been up to, and I'm going to take this time for us to talk about our research, baby.
Yes, we are always doing research. Yes, sir.
So, Rachel and I, you know, of course, we go out amongst the town, and we go to various clubs, and, you know, we're not just partying, we're actually doing research. What we do is we go out and we kind of observe the lovers, observe the connects, observe, you know, people walking by, and, you know, kind of, you know, get to know them. We'll walk up and start conversation and ask questions about love, sex, and relationships. And, Rachel, want to tell them kind of what we noticed?
Well, it's been a very interesting time because, like we said at the beginning of the show, this is spring. And, my grandmother used to say, you know, in springtime the sap rises and people feel loving and want to show that all the time. So I know, you know, we've been going to the festivals and seeing people holding hands and just really glad to be out of the cold weather and into this beautiful warm weather. And down here in Virginia, we have lots of wonderful, wonderful festivals. And I know you went to one this past weekend, and you got to see the love spreading all around.
Yes, I did. I had some me time. I just decided, you know, I flew solo this weekend. I got up and I put on my prettiest sundress, pulled my hair up, and I was smelling all good. And I went out to the art festival over there in Dogwood Dale, and I kind of walked. I mean, it was so, you know, art is my passion, and I got a chance to pleasure myself by just really enjoying, embracing the art there. And guess what happened to me while I was there, babe?
What happened?
I got hit on. I really got hit on big time, and the man had me blushing. I mean, I was blushing profusely, and, you know, the Butterfly Queen is dark chocolate, but I do blush, and I was blushing. So I'm looking at this butterfly art display. No, actually, it was a shoe art display. I sent you a picture, but you said I couldn't have it. Yeah, it's a big shoe. And I'm looking at, you know, at the artwork, and this gentleman scoots over beside me, and he said, "May I say something to you, ma'am?" And I turned around and looked, and I said, "Yes." He said, "You are absolutely beautiful. You need to sell your face." Oh, my God, I love to read, I mean, just your chocolate. I said, "Thank you." And, you know, Rachel, I was flattered. I got the butterflies, but you know what? My luck, the man was 89 years old, and he had a cane. And you know, but shoot, I got hit on by an OG, so I'm not even mad. And he was just, you know, a Caucasian man, and told me that my hair was beautiful. I mean, you know, first I was like, wow, thanks. I turned around, girl, and I threw my hair back, and I walked out of there like Billy D. or Common. Like Common said, "Girl, you was fine and hot." So I had a good time. But, you know, I found pleasure in that. I found pleasure in that gentleman, you know, just taking the time out, you know, to tell me, you know, that he thought I was attractive. And I just thought that was wonderful. So that was my little flirt with danger this week. I didn't have any other flirts with danger. And
DQ, you are a fabulous flirt. You are a fabulous flirt, and you know that you are. You do it expertly.
Yeah, it don't matter. I flirt constantly because I think flirting is healthy. And I was always saying on the show that flirting not only makes the person you're flirting with feel good, you know, it makes you feel good, but it makes the person you flirt with smile, you know, and I really can't help myself. I flirt like just immersively. And I also went to the Cape Pasta Festival. Se habla español, es muy pequeño. And I got a chance to use my Spanish. I got a chance to, watch the Latin dance. I didn't Latin dance because I had high heels on, and I got to enjoy the food, the chicharrones, and, I worked in Puerto Rico for a couple of years. So I had a really, really nice weekend. And then we spent our last day yesterday by the water. So what's been happening with you? And because we want to bring our gentlemen back, and we don't want the men to leave us. But what happened with you?
Well, I've been flirting a lot too, and I think it's really big fun to flirt with people that you don't know and you've never met. And I had a situation I told you about. I went recently to the Starbucks, and I saw this very handsome, this yummy man walk into the Starbucks, and I was in the line after him, and he had ordered his latte. But after I finished ordering my hot, exotic, fabulous, sensational, sensuous tea, not only did he look around at me and change his order, but the two people behind me changed their order too.
Because they said they want some of what you got, right?
Well, they said, hey, what's she drinking to makes her say it like that. And so I had big fun flirting just at the Starbucks and, and just picking up my purse and my hot tea, my sensual chocolate tea, and walking right out the door. Got my little switch on. So,
like I said, we're talking so we can work out, our technical difficulties, and we're going to bring in our guests in a few seconds. But before we do that, and that was so much fun, and I want, our listeners and our ladies and our gentlemen to understand that, when we walk this planet, we're supposed to leave more than we take away. And by just giving somebody a wink, a smile, or letting them know, that you kind of think they're hot, that is your responsibility to, spread some joy on the planet and give somebody else some kind of pleasure. So I try to do that every day. I wake up every day feeling amazing. And if I don't feel amazing, I make sure that I make a choice to be amazing. And that's what life is all about. On the Butterfly Queen After Dark radio show, we talk about love, sex, and relationships. But the most important relationship that we can nurture and develop on this planet is one we have with ourselves, because our ability to love and our capacity to love ourselves directly influences our ability and encourages and enhances our ability to love somebody else. So that's the Butterfly Queen's Butterflyism for the night. And now we're going to move on because I know you're all wondering about Rachel's circular dating.
Man.
Yep, Rachel began circular dating. When was that? In January?
Gosh. Yeah, I think it was January. First of the year, I did.
It was a little early that. And so circular dating, as I explained, is when we as queens, incorporate other men in our lives. It doesn't mean that you're unfaithful or you're practicing infidelity or you're sleeping around. What it means is that you're filling your life with men or partners that fulfill you and make you smile. And my take is I don't want to be around anybody that doesn't make me smile. So sometimes when you're in that one-on-one relationship and you demand so much of the other person, because, the Butterfly Queen, I'm an extra, and it takes an extraordinary man to kind of deal with me, but I don't want to wear him out because I know I like to do a lot of stuff, and I want a lot of things, and I demand a lot of things, and I'm like, always wanting it. But, I have, because of a good friend of mine, Tatia D, introduced me to this idea of circular dating, which means that you look at every male in your life or that you come across in your life that you want to spend time with, and you treat it as a date. So I date my son. I date my son. My son and I go out every month for a date. I have friends that I, go to the museum with or I shop with, or, maybe a love connect. But you create a rotation, and you spend time with each of those people, never breaking your rotation, so that you don't become stagnant in the relationship, so that you don't wear someone out, and you don't become fixated on any one person to the point your life is miserable. So that's the short of circular dating. And men, you can do it too, but men have always done it, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
They've been time
they
with
do
your
it
mama,
well.
they've been time with your grandma, they've been time with their wives, your girlfriends, or whomever. And, they keep the rotation going. I think it just makes a healthy connect for all of us to do the same thing. So, Rachel, give them quickly your update, and then we'll bring Dr. Love Jones back on and the amazingly sexy Sarah Jane Thornhill.
Yes. Well, I was doing so well with my circular dating. I had reintroduced myself differently to men that I had already dated before to let them know that I was dating. And that was a real trip, and to see how they stepped up in their dating game with me and wanting to offer me more in the relationship, and that's awesome. I made myself open to meeting new people, new men, and that was awesome too. And and your listening audience, I don't think they're going to believe this, but I mentioned at a family event that I was dating again, and lo and behold, my former husband asked me out on a date in front of everybody. Wow, I didn't really think about that one.
I want to bring the guys in and let them listen to this story, because I want to get their comments on it. So
okay.
I want to bring the guys in. I need Sir James, and I need Dr. Love to listen to this, and hopefully our audio issue is fixed. So come on in, guys, and listen to Rachel talk about circular dating.
Well, yeah, okay.
And I want my callers now. Call me, baby. Don't forget to dial that number and press 1 and, share your thoughts. And you can also talk to some of my guests, and they're 646-652-2512. And thanks for bearing with our technical difficulties. But, Rachel, go ahead and finish your story. Guys, are you back with us?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, I'm here.
You got an opportunity to listen to what circular dating is, right? Because some guys go, oh, what does that mean? You seeing a bunch of men butterfly queens and you doing this? No. What it means is that to engage the butterfly queen, I have to be treated like a queen. And I have men in my life who are my son, my brother-in-laws, and other people that I want to be treated the same way. So I put them what I call a rotation. So if it's my date night with my son, and I said this on the air before, I don't care if Denzel or Common call, I'm not breaking the date with my son. Because when you guys got something planned, y'all could be just going to the OK Corral just to eat some steak. You're not going to break your plan to be a woman. If you say you're going to go smoke a cigar in the yard, that's what you're doing tonight. That's what you're going to do. And what I encourage women to do is incorporate things in your life that are filling, and, you kind of do the same thing. And don't break your rotation. Keep your routine, because you know what? When you finally get back together with the person you really want to be with, the connect is so much more powerful.
Yes.
And you're allowing
exactly
them
right.
to be free. I know I like to be free. So
I'm going to go on national radio tonight and say something that I have never said before.
Don't get us kicked off the air, Rachel.
I won't. Okay, no. I'm not coming out of that. But
Sisters, Marie, Renee, I need you to call in and say, but go ahead.
I know the producer. She got her finger on that button. She's not going to let me mess up too bad. No, but what I was going to say is I actually broke a rule. I broke a really bad dating rule.
I've been working with her on this for months.
Oh, my God. I was doing so well. I was going out a lot. I was having a great time, and I was digging them, and they were digging me, and it was great. And then I got caught in conversation with this one guy more than all the rest, and we made a date for a Saturday night. And then as the date approached, he changed the night. He said, well, no, I can't do it on Saturday night. Let's get together on Friday night. And I know the rule. I know the rule is that you don't break a date for another date. But I really wanted to see this guy. So what did I do? I broke the date that I already had set up for Friday night to see this new guy. And then the predictable thing happened. That same guy called me back and said, oh, Friday night, I can't come. It's messed up, and I'm going to have to see you Saturday morning. So it was just really a mess. So the short story is I wound up dateless Friday night, dateless Saturday night, and I had wound up working on Sunday because I didn't do the work I was supposed to do on Friday. It was horrible. It was horrible. And ask me if I talk to this guy now. Can I talk to him now?
Do you?
No. We went on one day, and it was really lackluster. It really was. I mean, he was a nice guy. It was okay. But it was just not, no. And so I throw myself on the dating throne DQ. I really messed up. You told me not to do that. You told me not to do it.
I'm still hearing feedback, but please, audience, bear with us. We're going to make it better. But yes, James, and I want you to chime in. Also, Dr. Love, you're a man. You're our men for the night, and you get to spend the night with Rachel and the Butterfly Queen. And our callers calling in, so we're going to answer those calls shortly. But now, this is what I coach. Okay, I love men. I absolutely love men. I love sex. I love that too. But I more importantly love healthy relationships. That's healthy connects. And nowadays people are afraid to say that they're in a relationship. Well, let me tell you something. When you are seeing somebody, talking to somebody, you know somebody, that is some form of a relationship. So I'll say a connect. It's important, And what I talk about is really, really doing everything you do to really find pleasure for yourself, right, Rachel?
That's right. That's right.
And I talk about, if I promise, say, James, say you ask me out in your sexiest voice, Queen, you want to go out tonight? You want to, what would you say to me, James?
I would say the exact same thing. Queen, would you like to go out for an extraordinary evening that you would never, ever have again?
You see how I invited that, ladies? I invited that. So that's what I want to hear from him. So we sometimes have to coach people into telling us what we want to hear because it makes us smile. So apparently, Sir James is a very experienced man, so he knows how to make not just this queen, but queen smile. So you invite people to to date you, take you out for a date. Okay, once that happens, and I commit to James, and I say, yes, James, I want to go out with you. But now suddenly James starts changing the plan. Oh, I can't do it Thursday. I can't do it Friday. Oh, let's do this. Now, James, if that were a woman and you asked her out, right, and it was supposed to be for Saturday, and also she goes like, oh, I have child issues. Can we go Sunday? And you say, yeah, pretty much, right? But then you say, well, can it be a little bit later? I mean, and you had plans. Would you change your plans?
Would I change my plans?
Yeah.
Well, because, I'm a very passionate person. I'm a Cancer, and I like good company. I'm a very romantic person. And when I invite somebody out and they say yes, I've already went to the store. I've got the roses. I got the food. I got everything that she would need. So I prepare. I prepare for the queen that's coming over. Because anybody that give me that kind of time is respectful, and I look at them as being a queen. So when she cancels out, I've already done these things, and I'm like, okay, well, okay, don't be too hard. Okay, let's try it again, Then the next time that happens, I'm like, honestly, I'm like perturbed. So it doesn't happen again because I make preparation, because I respect their time, and I want them to know I respect their time, but I want them to respect my time as well. Because, see, at one time, I used to look at women as being my pleasure principle. And it happened often, and then I realized that I don't want to look at them just as being physical objects of sex, because I started depending on that. So I started looking at it a different way. I look at women as being creatures, beautiful creations, and not just objects of sex. I mean, when they walk past me, I turn around and look at their ass, and and I start saying, damn, man, you're like a lush. This is not, attraction. This is like lusting. So I had to change that. So in pleasuring myself, I pleasure my mind, my body, and my soul. Because
that's my question, though, is, James, like with Rachel. When Rachel said that, she had already had plans. Things were set up, and then it kept changing.
No, Marsha.
I'm sorry, yes.
Marsha, please, Butterfly Queen, allow me to really bring this home, okay?
Yes, please, bring it home.
I'm going to bring this home. Okay, all right. So we're gonna cut through all of that wonderful talk that Mr. Leatherstrap just gave us. Okay. So this is what it is. This is what it is, okay? You live in this city, and you have a standing date with Butterfly Queen on Friday night, okay?
Yeah.
I live in Washington, D.C., okay? And so we are going to make a plan to get together on Saturday night, because that's the night I'm coming through your town, and we're going to hook up that night. All right. So then I figured that something comes up, and I can't come on Saturday night, but I'm calling you and say, baby, I'm so sorry about Saturday night, but I'm going to be in your town a day early. Can we please, baby, get together on Friday night? So you know you already got a date with Butterfly Queen on Friday night. What you going to do? Are you going to have both of us over the same night? Or are you going to tell Butterfly? How are you going to handle that?
Well, the way I would handle it is that if I make a date, I'm going to keep a date.
Okay.
Regardless, because here's the thing. I don't want to disappoint anybody because I don't like being disappointed. I'm straight up. I'm upfront. And if you call me and say we're going to be together on Saturday, but you say I'm going to be in town on Friday, I can't do it because I've already committed myself to do something different.
Oh, okay. All right. That's what we want to hear.
Well, that sounds, like I said, I think that, I'm just sitting here embracing it. Your men talk a good game, and I love men. I have never really had too many issues with men. My problem is I want the queens to understand that what you said, James, is right. It's not nice to disappoint anybody, and things do happen. But my thing is that if you put people into your circle, into your circular dating, realm. Like Sunday is my son's time with myself. Okay, so if the gentleman doesn't come Friday and I give him Saturday, but then it comes to Sunday, I'm with my son. I'm not changing my plan. I'm not being nasty. It's just that if he wants me and he really cares about me, he's got to earn that time. I put it out there.
Understand this.
Yes.
Understand this. Sometimes people change plans because they think they found something better.
Exactly.
Sometimes people change plans because they want to do something else. Look, here's the thing, right? If you want to do something bad enough, you're going to do it. So sometimes people play those games, and they change plans with you because something else better might have came along.
Yep.
So I'm not taking those kind of excuses. If I'm going to man up and say, okay, whether this woman that called me is like very much more attractive than one that I have a date with, whether she's more sexy, because of who I am, and I set a standard, I'm going with who I made these plans and commitments with. Because even if it doesn't go sexual or whatever, still I've managed to my word. I've owned my own power. I'm not going to let anybody take my power from me.
All right, can I chime in? Yeah.
Please, you just got to
Come on, doctor. Come on, doctor.
Yeah.
But wait a minute. Hold up. I didn't introduce myself to the doctor. How you doing, bro?
All right, how's it going?
It's two of us against them, right? Or two of us with them, right? So we got to get together here.
Do something.
All right.
Oh, y'all already outnumbered. You're already outnumbered. That's okay.
Listen. Like I said, it's two of me, so.
And it's three of me, so.
All right, dude.
And that, I'm so glad you said that, James, because I always say there's always going to be somebody prettier. There's always going to be somebody more handsome. There's always going to be somebody larger. There's always going to be somebody more wealthy. That's why it's important to get to know a person. So
and also
changing days, I've been there. I'm from the city, and I remember a time when I was younger. If this one asked me out, he's nice guy, but if Mr. Fine asked me out, Mr. Nice guy don't. That was just plain and simple. And I learned through trial and error and just growing up that somebody's character is so much more important that connected to you. So go ahead and finish. And Dr. Love Jones, say something, baby, because I want you to, chime in here.
All right. I actually recently went through something like this, so I'm about to speak rather recent. I always believe that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I always believe that once someone set a time, that is a commitment. Like, I believe in commitments. Like, your word is your bond. And as a man, I'm going to be honest, as men, I believe that we have our balls and our word, and we shouldn't break that for no one.
Yeah.
I like that.
So if I give a time and I say I'm going to commit myself to this time, and a female cancels out on me, but yet still she wants me, I have a date for another time and she wants to impede on that time because that's more convenient for her, me personally, the only way I would switch that is if I don't like the vibration I'm getting with the other female I'm having that commitment time with, because sometimes we do have a date, but but that vibe ain't there. May not always be the look.
You got a backup plan.
I agree with him. So sometimes the vibe ain't there.
The vibe ain't there. So sometimes, okay, you could say, all right, yeah, I can switch it. But that's the only time to me is like acceptable to switch, because at the end of the day, my time is serious just like your time is serious. And if I'm playing around with your time, then that means you're willing to play around with your own time and do some play around stuff, which is not going to end up getting me what I want.
We got so far off the track, but I guess somehow we're going to have to tie this into pleasure, because I don't want to change this topic. This is so interesting to me because this is exactly how I feel. But so we're going to get back to pleasure, ladies and gentlemen out there in the audience. And
that's important, and I know, and I just want to say this, and you're right. You're right. But I know that a lot of females, we try to accommodate men, and I think that's where we go wrong when it comes to this dating thing.
Thank you. As a relationship coach myself, sometimes I have a hard time practicing what I preach. You meet that person, you really like them, you want to lay it on the table because you're tired of playing games and tired of having a backup plan. Because, when you have backup plans too, you have the guy that'll pay for dinner, then you have the guy that, throw down when you get in the bed. So, you have the two. Make sure you have them lined up together. So don't think that the men are the only ones with game. And ladies, I'm sorry to tell, but that's the truth. But every now and then you get caught up into the person that you really, really like, somebody that you wanted to work with, so you give that extra time to that person, and it's not appreciated, or you still is not appreciated, and you are around to them like yucky and ugly, and that's where the importance of practicing this circular idea of dating, for both men and women. And but like I said, I'm so happy that you all brought out the backup plan. Everybody got a backup plan. At least they should. Back at least where I came from, you always had a backup plan. You had the guy, I'm going to go out with him, but just in case it doesn't work, I can call, I can call Ed, because I know Ed is good for this. Everybody has that. And I just think women are better than hiding.
Marsha, I agree with you, because being a single person, sometimes you make a plan with one person and it doesn't work, and then you're at home sitting by yourself having to why. So a backup plan is always the best thing. And yes, I have had situations. I have had situations where I've changed it, and it still didn't go right. So that's why I decided I'm going to stick to what I'm doing, because, if I make a plan, if I set a plan, then keep the plan. Because when I changed it, it just didn't work out. I was like, wow, I should have went with the first person I had it with.
But my backup plan.
And let me.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dr. Love.
Yeah. No, I want to actually piggyback what you just said, and it's funny how I'm gonna use this reference. But think about it as a doctor's appointment. A doctor set one appointment for one patient an hour? Like, okay, at 12 o'clock they just got one appointment, or they set like 8 or 9 different appointments just in case one
That's why they call him the doctor.
So I believe you should keep yourself as open as possible.
No,
because something may go wrong.
I agree. On some level, I agree with that. I think that, now let's get back to this pleasure discussion. That's where self-pleasuring comes in. Because there was a time in my life, like I said, I didn't grow up in Richmond. I grew up in the city. And when you grow up in a metropolis, you have so many choices. And I personally have always, and I talk to Rachel about this all the time, I had a problem falling in love. I never felt those like the butterflies and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's why now they're so important to me. And I do feel them now. But I didn't always feel that. I'm like, I don't understand why she's writing his name on her book or why she's going to his practice. So my high school years was spent like, it's about me And I think that a lot of it was because I was raised with my father. I grew up kind of thinking like, I guess, a boy or something like that. But what I'm saying is that I didn't do all that. So I've always circulated. I've always felt that way. Now I'm at a point in my life where my backup plan has become me. You know, if I don't have, and I think, James, you were alluding to that, if I don't have the person, if I can't be with the person I like to be with, or I can't have, I like me enough that I'm good. But it took time, I guess, to get to that point where I like me. I mean, I will go out with me by myself. And it would be nice to have a backup plan, and, you know, on occasion I have, but it's really about me pleasuring me, me enjoying me. And I think when you begin with that, then your dating life, your connect life, your sex life, or your life in general becomes so much better.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
So
and I think especially as you mature and you really get to know yourself better and the things that make you happy. Now, you know, when I hear Sir James talk about his passion for art and canvas work, I know that just the work itself brings him great pleasure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, you know, and when I write, it gives me that kind of pleasure, too. So.
Okay, you know, when I think about pleasure, when I think about pleasuring myself, you know, to me, my pleasure sometimes is like a hot bath, soaking for 20, 30 minutes with some lavender oil, you know, and some seaweed or something really good. But then when it comes down to intimate and sexual pleasuring, I mean, sometimes a guy got to take care of himself. You know, I mean, that's just life.
That's a girl.
Yeah. I mean, I like that. We have to take care of ourselves, because if you depend on everybody to be your pleasure, it's not going to work, because people are not obligated to please you, but you got to know how to please yourself.
Okay.
So we do what we have to do.
So James, hold that, and I mean really hold it right there.
Hold it. I'm not shaking hands with that man anymore.
Well, I am. I don't care.
I'm holding it real tight.
Totally, baby. And we're going to be right back. We have to take a commercial break. We got to pay some bills. And please call in and talk to us. This conversation is hot and juicy, but we will answer your questions. And we got off the subject, back on the subject, but that's what the Butterfly Queen After Dark show does. So call in 646-652-2512 and press 1 so that you can talk to us, baby. And we're going for a commercial break.
I want to know what hand he uses.
Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Capri Smith of the Uncuffed Radio Show. Join me every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to learn how you can grow in your business, personal environment, and reach your true potential by uncuffing what is binding you, only on the Maybe Help You Radio Network.
The Queen After Radio Show is live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me, Jessica Taylor,
and me, Jason Mosley, to be entertained by authors, artists, and spiritual leaders.
We look forward to being a blessing in your life every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Only on the NWHY Radio Network.
The Tanya Free and Friends Talk Show is happy to announce our partnership with the May We Help You Radio Network. You can now catch the rebroadcast of our Wednesday show every Thursday at 6 p.m. That's Tanya Free and Friends, the podcast, every Thursday evening at 6 p.m. We welcome your comments and opinions 24/7 at TanyaFree.com, Facebook and Twitter, or send me a text by texting the word Tanya, that's 72727. Tanya Free and Friends, and May We Help You Radio. Living life with a purpose.
Hi, this is Benita with Off the Vine. Join us on Fridays at 3 o'clock for Fun Talk About Wine. This season, I'm going to put this little sommelier certification to work as we expand the conversation to talk about beer and spirits too. Meet more exciting special guests, and you never know just who may show up at the studio. Off the Vine with Benita on the May We Help You Radio Network, giving you something to whine about.
Incarceration doesn't just affect the one behind bars. It affects everyone. Here's your chance to let others know that being locked up leaves others locked down on the outside, hurting emotionally, economically, and spiritually. We want to know how you feel. Go to www.lovelockdownseries.com and make your creative voice heard. lovelockdownseries.com. We are listening.
Hey, baby, I'm back. And I asked Sir James to hold it for me, and I'm going to bring him out, and we're going to talk about we're going to pick up where we left off at, and that was talking about pleasure. Rachel, you with me, baby?
Yes, I wouldn't miss this for anything in the world. Continue, please.
Oh, you know what? I want to stop and say, hold my hand, girl, because I messed up. Because, you know, I always mess up paying these bills. And I want to say, just so we don't get off the air. Okay. MWHY, the May We Help You Radio Network, is proud to bring to you Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise RVA Expo, a complete mall takeover for the entrepreneurs, families, teens, and for you to enjoy. Come for the resources you can use to be successful in business, and stay for live performances by the host of the May We Help You Radio Network. Yes, the Butterfly Queen will be there, so you can come out and kiss me, baby. And entertainers from around the world, over 10,000 attendees. You don't want to miss this event. It's September 12th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Register for free tickets today. Healthy, Wealthy, Wise, VA.eventbrite.com. So join us at the Chesterfield Town Center Mall, and we will look forward to see you there live for the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise RVA event from MWHY Radio. Woo, I did it. I didn't mess up too much. So
you did fine.
Now back to our conversation. Rachel.
Yes. That was fabulous because you're getting down to the pleasuring part. And I know we've been kind of dancing around some things, and that's good. I like to dance. But we're talking about going solo right now and how we pleasure ourselves, maybe by ourselves. And I think Dr. I'm getting tongue-tied.
It was Sir James that talked about pleasure.
It was Sir James, yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Did he finish?
So I want him to pick up. Sir James? Hello, Sir James?
Yes, I'm here.
All right.
Maybe
I'm here.
You were turning me on, and I think you were turning my female listeners out there. Do you know that we have people listening all over the United States?
Awesome.
St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. We have people in the Netherlands listening to us. We have Florida. Yeah. They're having a Butterfly Queen After Dark party tonight. We have those up in Michigan and New York City, New Jersey, and D.C. listening to us. So now we want to know about this self-pleasuring thing, Sir James, that I made you hold on to.
Okay. Well, you told me to hold on to. I'm still holding. Should I let it go now?
Oh, good. No. You don't have to. You don't have to, as long as you can talk while you're doing it.
It's kind of hard, but I can talk while I'm doing it.
No, you did not.
I got you.
The wine is flowing.
Yeah, definitely. I got my bottle of Chablis here, and my wine is flowing. But when getting back to pleasure and pleasing yourself, it became like a habitual thing. Learning as I went along that you can't make people own up to pleasuring you because they're not obligated to. You got to pleasure yourself. And me, when it comes down to pleasuring myself, whether it's going to have a bottle of wine, whether it's watching a nice movie, whether it's watching porn. Whether it's self-gratification, because the human body, it craves for pleasure. And when you don't do it, because, look, I got some girlfriends that went to that gynecologist. I'm going all out there, y'all. The gynecologist told them, look.
Don't mess up your connection now.
Look, you the one that called me, right? The gynecologist said you need some sex.
Yeah.
Then an African woman told me that a lot of men have bent over the prostate diseases because they don't masturbate. They got to get up off that thing.
Wow.
You know, so you have to. That self-pleasure thing. You know, and you might see me walking the street and laughing and smiling because I pleasure myself. Turning those negative vibes into some positive is all about pleasure. So I don't mind. I'll walk around my house for 2 days painting in the nude. That's pleasure to me, to have the windows open and the air is breathing over my body. I read an article by, I think her name is Ayanna Van Sant, or
Ayanna Van Sant.
Yes, and she said, get in the shower and hold yourself, squeeze yourself. Tell you how much you love yourself. Don't be afraid to touch yourself. And that totally changed the person that I am because I can love myself. I can touch myself. I'm not afraid of it. So I take every opportunity to create pleasure in my life because then I'm a better artist. I'm a better producer. I'm a better person because I've done the first thing. Please yourself, and everybody else around you will be happy. How can you change the world? By changing you and your thoughts.
Well, I want to stop and say, Dr. Love, you see what you started now. Come on in here and say something.
All right.
Come on, Doctor.
I was just about to come in. I definitely got to agree with you because let me say this. First off, and I thought about this recently, I think people should start doing things with themselves more, especially talking to yourself. I think people need to talk to themselves more because the problem is that we talk to the wrong people about our own problems. And a lot of times we talk to a lot of toxic people. So what we do is we give these people that may seem like they're good for us, but the truth is we're toxic. And that goes along with sex also because if you have sex with a toxic person, that nut will feel good, that orgasm will feel good, but then you'll feel bad afterwards. Like I can personally tell you from that and it's because there's nothing worse than having sex with a toxic person because through intercourse, that's how you exchange energy.
Yes.
And if you're giving that wrong energy, if you give that energy to the wrong person, then what's going to happen is they're going to give you something that you don't want back. And I'm talking energy. We're not going to go into the STD and that extra. That's a whole different aspect. But we do have energy. We do have energy STDs where it's just something that's just going into your body as bad. So it's important.
Wow.
It's vital that we learn self-pleasure because if we always rely on someone else to do something, then what's going to happen is we become dependent. And when you depend on, nothing worse in this world is to be dependent on someone else's to bring you satisfaction and passion and happiness. That should be something you should supply for yourself. It'd be great when someone else give it to you, but if you can't do it for yourself, then the truth is you're enslaved. And you're a slave to whoever that person, whoever that passion, whoever that is, you're a slave. And that's why self-pleasure is important.
It is. Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
You just summed it up in a nutshell, can I say? You summed it up. Because
I'm confused. I'm sorry. I'm confused. It sounds like he was saying that you're going to get good sex from the wrong person. You're gonna have to elaborate because if you loving me right, you're the right person. You're the doctor.
But I agree with him. I agree with him because we leave our energy and spirit in people that we have orgasmic contact with, and you can walk away sometimes after doing that and feel totally unfulfilled. Yes, you got the orgasm, but look, guys, orgasm is not just physical. Orgasm is spiritual as well. You know, so I've had encounters where I could have had sex with certain ladies, but I didn't feel anything whatsoever, and I went ahead and I did it, and I still didn't feel anything. So as getting more up in age and more wiser, I don't need energy that's not going to support me in what I want to do with the rest of my life.
Oh, beautiful. All
right, that's food for thought. Okay, all right.
Well, because
look, one time y'all used to say that men can do it to anybody, boys can do it to anybody, but men, we want more. Y'all women, y'all think that men are just about cracking a nut or whatever, but it's not just about that. We have feelings too. Yes, men do cry in the dark. Okay, quote me on that one.
Oh
yes.
Okay. Well, I have to say this. That does explain something to me because I know on a previous show, BQ and I talked about phone sex and how it seems that people, not just men, because men and women, were having more sex over the phone, which means to me that you're pleasuring yourself. You may be stimulated, originally by the conversation, but you're actually pleasuring yourself, which actually supports what you're saying to me, that it would be better just to pleasure yourself than to have sex with a person that may be the wrong person.
Until connect.
I do agree.
Well, I think that, so James, you have grown into that, but there are people out there who still, want to engage in just the physical contact. Now,
well, that time will come, and they'll get to that point, or maybe not. But everybody is entitled to how they want to experience this life that they're in.
And to be honest, to speak from a man's perspective, there's a lot of men that treat sex like a sport.
Yes.
Who scores the highest wins. So
we all did it.
We all went through that point. Some people still go through that point, but that's just how we look at it sometimes.
Yes.
We used to look at it.
Yeah,
wow.
I agree.
Like I said, what I was talking about, I did some research this week. Not just this week, I've been doing it for several months on self-pleasuring and the importance of self-pleasuring and why, we really need to incorporate rituals that please ourselves. And I think that it makes us better for relationships when we're whole. When we come to connect with somebody and we have what we need, so there we can share what we have with that person and be willing to share, because we're not like empty or void or looking for somebody to fill this void or this hole that we have.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
I think that's important. And I'm choking here. So, Rachel, please take over.
Oh, don't do that. No, don't. Please don't choke. No, but actually, I would be very interested.
Yeah, you too, brother.
See how I keep it moving.
What you doing over there?
I know. Just stop that. You pleasure yourself a little bit too much over there. Okay. Dr. Love. Dr. Love. And I hear what you said, because actually, I believe, I can't remember her name, Marilyn. We had a Surgeon General at one time, the first, I think, African American and female Surgeon General we ever had in this country, who lost her job because she said that what young people needed to do is learn how to pleasure themselves. I don't know if any of you all remember that.
Yes, I do. I remember.
Element, Meryl is right. Meryl. She lost her job behind that, and she had a lot of flack over the conversations that she would have with young people in particular, and I don't mean teenagers. I mean young unmarried people that were maybe rushing into some relationships that were not good for them because they felt like we're talking about masturbation. I know that's one end of the perspective. But I know even without that particular act, there are a whole lot of things that you can do to actually bring pleasure to yourself physically.
Yes. Yes, right.
And as I've mentioned several times, when I was in Europe about 18 months ago, it was nothing to be sitting in a park in Paris and see a mother actually, just reach into the diaper of a baby. And, stimulate the child to bring it to a place of peace and joviality and, stop it from crying. And you might get arrested here in this country for doing that sort of thing.
Well, I always say that the United States is the most repressed, sexually repressed country on the planet.
Yeah.
We were indoctrinated by the Puritans and that whole religious sect by the bandits who inherited this thing we call the United States. So, we live in guilt here. We live in guilt here, and I made a commitment to myself to really begin to live free about 10, 11 years ago. And it's been hard because people don't understand living free. It doesn't mean you're out there giving it up all over the place, but you're really living, free of the things that we've been indoctrinated to believe.
Marsha, can I add this? Can I add this? I totally agree with you. But America is one of the most perverted places anywhere.
Exactly.
I mean, child pornography,
and rape in any other country in the world.
Yes, indeed. So they told us that it wasn't right, but they do it all because they did it to us.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally agree with you.
Exactly.
And I'm going to slightly shift in a different direction also, as far as I talk about, one of the things I talk about when I speak is the 5 W's of you, which is who, what, where, when, and why. And the first question every person should ask is, who are you?
Yes.
And it's a deep question because people, a lot of times we act on our conditioned self, meaning we was conditioned based off how we was raised, how we looked at TV, how we went to school and what they taught us and all that. And none of us really know who we really are, our spiritual self. What do we really like? Like, for instance, a person might like pink. A guy might like pink, not because he's gay or anything, but just because he's just fascinated by that color. But just an example. but unfortunately, if he goes around wearing pink all the time, people gonna think he's gay. So he has to put on this mantra of saying, "No, I like blue," or red, or something that's more manlier. But if you really get inside your true self and you say, "No, I like pink," wear pink more often, then it's not. Then that's knowing your true self. And that's the key to pleasuring yourself, because you understand your true self, understanding what you truly like, not what the world makes you think you're supposed to like because you're a certain gender, you're a certain color, you're a certain race, you're a certain ethnicity. It's just knowing that that's something you like as an individual.
Right. But, like I said, we talked on earlier shows about really becoming our authentic selves and really kind of, getting away from and divorcing the idea of, and parents love your children, but we want the best for our kids. We want them to be the smartest. We want them to be all these different things. But I think there comes a time in your life where you just want to be yourself.
Yeah.
You want to be, and we are given labels at an earlier time in our lives, and we try to live up to those labels, and we live in misery. So learning to pleasure yourself, learning to understand what makes you smile is really, really important. It took me years to get to that point to where I was comfortable. And I want to share with you all, some things that I've written this week. And like I said, I do research. We are here on the Butterfly Queen After Dark radio show. I want you to call in and, talk to us, ask questions, because we're talking about something very important, and that is learning to love yourself and pleasure you as a human being. So I wrote a pleasure guide. Life seeks out pleasure. Pleasure involves reaching out to the world. Pleasurable activities are smooth, easy, and joyful. A pleasurable life is robust, challenging, happy, flowing. Our own biology will lead us to health promoting pleasurable activities if we pay attention to what our senses are telling us. The healthiest people are pleasure-loving, pleasure-seeking, and most importantly, pleasure-creating people. These people have incorporated pleasure rituals. So I find it really important that we develop pleasure rituals in our lives. You wake up every morning, like you said, spewing affirmations, believing these affirmations, giving yourself pleasure. And unfortunately, our society is characterized by a denial and fear of pleasure.
Wow,
and many of our so-called pleasure is smoking, excessive drinking, overindulgence in food, desserts are not really pleasures. They're not pleasures at all. They are, in fact, pseudo-pleasures. And that is substituted for true pleasures that we should create in our lives. Making love, intimacy and sharing. We are more suspect of somebody that loves us or likes us or cares for us, because we have been conditioned to expect ugly. We've been, conditioned to expect someone to get over on us, to use us, to do bad things to us, or try to capture us, or bind us. And that's the way our society has raised us to believe. So the Butterfly Queen is, really, I am promoting a pleasure lifestyle. And, what it looks like and how it works is that, you really, take control of your life and decide what it is because, our Creator has given us the power to decide what we want and how we want to be and what we want to do, but oftentimes we're too lazy and we depend on other people. And it's chemistry of pleasure. The activities produce biochemical changes in our bodies that are, integral aspects of pleasure. And this, means, really investigating and understanding and, and participating in what brings us joy because we're afraid of joy. We truly are. Even though we seek it, everyone says they want love, they want connects, they want all these different things in their lives, but we actually fear that type of thing. And most importantly, in this country, we fear sex. We truly fear sex. We fear being exploited, that we were inhibited. If you like a certain thing, it's considered bad or awful or ugly, and we need to dispel all of those types of things. And one of the other important things I think is breathing. Getting up every morning. For me, one of my greatest pleasures is doing my deep breathing. I get up and I breathe. I breathe in tranquility, and I breathe out doubt. I breathe in joy and pleasure, and I breathe out unhappiness, barriers and things that bind me. And they sound silly and simple and very artsy and out there, but these are things that, kind of make me smile. And that's why everyone doesn't understand me, but I learned that not everyone deserves a front row seat in my life, and not everyone's going to understand. So those are some of my practices, and within the, with my research that I've done, those are just a few of the things. And I also feel that getting up and moving and experiencing life, laughing is important. And our last show was on laughing and humor. You got to laugh sometimes. The bedroom does not have to always be serious. Self-love and pleasuring doesn't have to be serious. I love to laugh. I love to be silly. But I think the more mature we get, the older we get, we stop laughing. So these are all things. And I'm going quickly, to discuss, what brings me pleasure. So I want our audience out there to understand that pleasure is not just masturbating or having sex or conquering someone else. It's finding things that you find joy in and that can allow you to impart joy into others' lives. Touching. I'm a big toucher. I love to touch. If I'm attracted to you, I will touch you all over. But we're afraid to touch. We don't even shake hands in this country because we're afraid of the cooties, which I think is warranted, trust me. But, I'm a toucher. I love to touch. I love to feel. You remember the butterflies? Let's talk about the butterflies. Back when you were like a teenager and you sat on the couch and you petted and you just participated in just exploring each other, that brings me joy. That's a pleasure thing for me.
Isn't that the most awesome thing?
Oh, my gosh.
It's so awesome. That's that touch. Look, I'm like
butterflies. And I'm going to go through this list, and I'm going to let you all chime in. And lastly is loving. We are so afraid of loving somebody else. And I want to give the definition of love. Love should be unconditional. Love is, I wake up every morning in love, and you tease me in this house, and my friends tease me because I am such a helpless and sickening romantic. I believe in love. God. Oh, my gosh. I cry at love movies. I believe in romance. It just makes me smile. I will walk out on a movie that doesn't end the way I want it to end because I am such a believer in the butterflies and what is really, really good. And that's who I am as a person, and it offends some people or turns some people off, but I have decided to live my life, loving and savoring every moment of it, and I say eat, drink, and be merry, and just do you, boo. So that's my research, and I did do some interviews where I asked questions, and I got some really honest answers, and I'll go through that later. But so I laid all this on you. What do you think, guys?
Awesome. I love it.
I have fun, but I do my research. I work.
Well, first off, it's like you throwing a bomb over a country and just telling them, okay, get up now. You just drop some bombs. Like, gotta let that thing digest a little bit.
We're only a few hours show, and the show goes so fast. But this is, I spend my days researching. I'm home alone here since I've been blessed with the opportunity to work at home, and all of these things, just kind of overwhelm my mind, and I dump them on Rachel because we happen to share a home. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, are you serious?" But this is what I truly believe in.
As far as
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, as far as the love aspect, I think the biggest reason, and this is just something I came to realization like a couple of weeks ago. I think the biggest problem with a lot of us is that we're not in love with ourselves.
Right.
Like we're not in love with ourselves. We might like the idea of who we are, but we're not in love with the bad habits that we have. We're not in love with the flaws that we have. We're not in love with the things that other people may be perceived negative. Because the truth is that when someone loves you unconditionally, is that they love those bad things about you. Why? Because that's what makes you you, and that's what makes you unique. But see, a lot of times that we don't like those things. We don't like that big mole that's on our face. We don't like that big scar that's on our chest. We don't like that birthmark that's in that awkward place, because we see ourselves more as a finished product, more so than the prototype,
work in progress,
the unique, the work in progress. You never get to see yourself as that. We always see ourselves as, okay, this is it. This is all I'm going to be, and this is all I ever will be, instead of knowing that we're going to grow into much bigger beings. We may not go from a cocoon to a caterpillar to a cocoon to a butterfly in that order, but yet still spiritually we'll go through that.
Right.
Spiritually we definitely will go through that.
But we don't see a lot of that because we are so focused on television programming. They're programming the majority of people to see themselves like what they see on TV, the images that are not true, it's all false. So we turn that off sometime and get quiet time. We don't need television and everything to justify who we are, but we've been brainwashed to believe that. So when you meditate, when you get into quiet time, when you float like a butterfly, you realize that you can go as high as you can reach. You can go. So right now we are in a condition where we're so programmed.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
But I'm just going to say, and I agree with you. I don't want you to think I don't agree with you, but I think the problem is a little bit even more severe than that. I think that we even date like that because you can meet a really nice guy. And he can, because everybody has, we may not admit it, but everybody has a mental checklist of what they're looking for, right? And we listen for buzzwords, we watch gestures, we try to figure out, is this guy the one, or if this girl is the one. And you will never, I don't think you're ever going to find anybody with all 10 or 20 of those things on your doggone list. And so, and then when you get to the point where, you see that person for a day or two or a week or two or a month or two or a year or two, and you move on to the next person, it's bound to leave somebody with the feeling that, okay, well, I'm all of this, but I'm still not enough.
Yeah. But, you're right. I'm sorry, Rachel. Go ahead.
No, but that was the point I'm making. And I said even the way that we date shows us that. Tells us that, oh, you're okay, but you had one thing must have been missing because I'm going to move on and go to this next person.
But that's when we go back to the importance of defining who we are for ourselves, loving ourselves. Because let me tell you something. I know when the butterfly queen gives you something, it came from the butterfly queen, and that's the bottom line. It's going to be good for me. I hope it's good for you. And when we talk about love, I know that I'm giving you all of me that I give everyone. I give love out unconditionally to everyone. And you know what? You got to understand that sometimes people are just not mature enough or they're not ready to receive it because we so much connect love with ownership. We connect love with control. If you love me, you'll do what I say. If you love me, you'll do. We put all these constraints on love, and really love is just sharing the positivity, the essence of who you are. Love means, I want to pleasure you, and I'm not looking for anything in return. But people run from love because of these these self-imposed constraints that we place on what love is all about. Because
Marsha,
I treat you nice.
Something?
Yes.
Can I say something? Most women I meet are all about trying to change who I am.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm a little different because
yes, because I'm serious. Yeah, but most women I meet or women that I know that talk to relationships, they're like, well, he's got this, but I can change this, I can change that. Instead of accepting, or if he's not the right one that you feel, move on. But you can't change people. People have certain characters that's in them. And some people are ready and some people are not. Some people are more mature and some people are not. Wait for the opportunity to meet that person.
And one thing that I never understood is, why do you feel who gives you the right to want to change someone? Like how dare you just sit here and say, well...
I just want to stop you right now because you can't put it all on the queens. Now,
No. This is not a queen. This is all. This is anybody. This is not a matter of women. Because there's some men that will come in. Men will do the same thing too. Will come in a situation and they will try to dominate. And I never understood why. Because I believe is this: we all got a unique a unique fingerprint.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if we touch anything and they scan for fingerprints, they can track us down. Because that's something that's unique to each and every one of us. So that means that we have unique characteristics that makes us who we are, that makes us as unique. Because if you take the U out of unique, then you just get neek, which is short for something, another name for somebody else. The fact is, you're unique because that's what makes you who you are. Because that's who you. It's like cooking. There's someone in your family that makes like the best whatever. That even if you follow that same recipe, you do the same seasoning, you do everything, it still won't taste the same way. And that's the same thing as we are as people. It's something about me being who I am, that if I were used to meet me and I become ingratiated into your life, that I could give you a feeling no other person in this world could give you. So that's what makes us who we are. So when you come in to try to change that very thing, to me is unfathomable.
But see, that's when you are confident in who you are. Because I'm going to tell you something. Once you've been touched by the butterfly queen, you have been touched by the butterfly queen. Now, some may be able to do it good. Some may be able to do it better, but they can't do it like the butterfly queen. And that's what we have to realize, is that we are authentic, and what we have to offer is valuable, and not everybody's going to see value in that. That's why there's so many different flavors in the ice cream store, and there's so many different cars out there. And I think we kind of really mess ourselves up, trying to be everything and all things to people, and we end up chasing waterfalls. We have to take a break right now. Please stand by. Don't leave. This is a juicy, hot conversation. No, we're not talking about how to make an orgasm, but we'll get to that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about really learning how to love yourself, to be able to, connect on a level that where you know that you are enough. And the Butterfly Queen is enough, and so is Rachel, and so is Dr. Love, and Sir James, and so are you. So hold on. If you want to call in, 646-652-2512, and press 1 to get into the queue. We're going to take a break. We got to pay some bills.
To all of my female entrepreneurs, it's time to expand your region and business profits. Are you networking in the same locale and viewing the same guest list over and over? Do you find your colleagues are referring new business and its clients that you already have in your portfolio? Are you industry stagnant? And are your social groups and events filled with the same people? If you answer yes to just one of these questions, it's time to expand internationally. You are cordially invited to petition for attendance to an all-female, exclusive, and private event featuring the power of 52 women, the East Coast International Business Symposium, hosted by rockstar entrepreneur and international business consultant Erica A. Murray and multimedia distributor and expert Letitia M., and moderator Ms. Joan Henry of the Women's Entrepreneur Expo, beginning February 28, 2015 in Baltimore, Maryland. March 28th in New York, New York. April 18th in Washington, D.C. May the 23rd in Atlanta, Georgia. June the 20th in Boston, Massachusetts. And September, Africa. If you are serious about your business, don't miss this event. Go to www.thepowerof52women.com for more information. Once again, go to www.thepowerof52women.com and register today. This is an event you don't want to miss.
Hi, my name is Letitia M., owner of May We Help You Network. I want to thank you for joining us and enjoying our host here on MWHY Radio Network. Please visit us online at mwhyradio.com and like us on facebook.com/MWHY Radio. Tune in to learn more about our hosts and upcoming contests and our TV programming that'll be coming to you soon. MWHY Radio, bringing together business, community, and you.
Hello, hello, hello. We're back, and we have a caller. Callers, I'm so sorry that we haven't been able to bring you in, but we're going to start answering calls, and I want my guests to stand by and listen to what our callers have to say because they're the ones that make us smile. So we have a guest, Mr. Florida. Hi, Mr. Florida. Welcome to the Butterfly Queen After Dark radio show.
Oh, my goodness. It's my pleasure. And Butterfly Queen and Miss Rachel and all the men that have give great insightful points about relationships and pleasuring yourself and the circular dating have been very insightful for me. And
well, you've been listening. I am so excited because we had a little technical difficulties, but I hope you've been able to hear in Florida. So thank you. I mean, is there something you want to talk about, baby?
Yes, I want you to know that I did get the connection of the show from your family member, your sister. So I am the one that submitted a picture to you to say hello.
Oh, my. Well, I get a lot of pictures, but I want you to send it back to me so I know who you are. And, I'm sorry, but I do get a lot of inboxes. But I want to see what you look like, baby, since you called me.
Okay,
so
I want you to know
that.
I want you to know that I'm the one to introduce your sister, Tracy, to the club. Was that Saturday?
Okay, well, I don't know, but I'm coming down there next week to party, so I want to make sure that I get this chance to say hi to you and thank you for calling me.
Yes, I am aware of it, but this is my first time dialing in to your show, and it is one of the most realist and insightful shows that I've ever been, especially being a man. And I think the young man, Dr. Love or them make great points about not giving way to someone else to be the one to gratify you and satisfy you, that there's things that you can implement as a man to satisfy yourself and to make oneself feel great and beautiful as you are.
Oh, wow. Well, Dr. Love, you want to say hello to him real quick because he
How you doing, sir?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm excellent, man. How's everything going with you?
It's a blessing. I'm here in Florida, and everything is going great. Great weather, and I've never been to Virginia, but I hear that the most beautiful people in the world live in Virginia.
Well,
I got to find out for myself.
Here.
But I tell you, the points that you all are making as far as relationships and this circular dating, and I've been in entertainment for over 15 years. I'm a fashion model. I'm a bodybuilder, and I have never really took the entity of what you all saying to this point until I dialed into the show, and actually the Butterfly Queen sister was the one that gave me the link, and I logged.
My love.
Yeah, and she loves you.
Well, let me tell you something. I will be down in Mr. Florida next week, and I want to meet you personally. And I thank you so much for calling in. I am so flattered.
Oh man, and I'm gonna relate to everyone here in Florida about you all show, and I'm just praying that you all have a blessing. And if I can get an insight from it, I think anybody could. But I just had to give y'all my greatest on it.
Oh, thank you so much, my darling. And Rachel, you want to say bye to Mr. Florida? I know you don't want me, Rachel.
That's great.
I need to get a plane ticket. They got nice men in Florida.
Yes. I'm packing my bags now. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Florida. Love you. Okay, and I think we have another caller, and guys, we'll get back to our conversation. We're winding down to the end of our show. We have the last 15 minutes, so I want to bring in the next caller. Hello. Yes. Oh, I did. I hear you. So we're going to keep talking in the meantime.
Maybe.
Dr. Love D. Jones. Love Jones, I'm sorry. You heard them say it. You know, they're listening to the show, and I'm so flattered every time we have someone call in and kind of impart what it is that we're doing here that's powerful. And so let's continue our conversation.
But I want to add something if I can here, and not to take away from where we are, but I don't think people really realize the power and the gravity of what comes with learning how to pleasure yourself, because not only does it give you the insight of how you can touch yourself and different ways you can do that, but when we get away from doing that to ourselves, we don't know how to do it for other people. I've even working with even young kids in school. You can go weeks, months without parents touching children anyway. I mean, in no kind of way. And that goes right into, if you have a spouse or, a person you have an intimate relationship, the only way we know how to touch each other is through sex. And now it's sex in a very profound, only in the most pornographic way. So massaging a woman's leg or a woman, licking the back of a man's neck, and all of these things have just flown totally out the window now because we don't really think about how important just the idea of touch is to people.
Right. And pleasure. Let's get back to the word pleasure. It's all a part of pleasure. I often say, sometimes I get, how I get depressed about my work. I'm like, I don't think I'm making a difference. I don't think people even care. But what we have to understand is that the way we connect and the way we show love, the way we date, the way we flirt, the way we touch, the way we make love directly affects those that are looking at us. And that's our younger generation. If they don't see us touching, if they don't see us loving in appropriate ways, if they don't see us, showing affection for one another, they're never going to learn. And that's why we have all these issues of sexting, texting. Sex crimes are on an uprise. Disrespect for men and women are both out of control because they're not able to see it, which fuels my passion to teach us how to live better, love better, and laugh more. I've always wanted my kids to see their dad and I loving each other, kissing, holding hands, And when he passed, I wanted to recreate that for me because I miss that type of caring, loving, and adoration. So it's more important than just us, but it does begin with us.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, and also, and another thing that learning how to self-pleasure gives you is independence. It gives you that feel that you don't really need anybody. You don't, because the problem, I feel why people get into bad relationships and bad situations is that they feel that there's a void that they need to fill when that's not the case. If you learn how to just take care of yourself and pleasure yourself, then you're only going to attract those you desire, not those who you need.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And on a totally, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, Rachel, you go ahead, babe.
No, I was just thinking since, these guys, I don't know if they've been holding the phone tonight with one hand or two. So,
I won't say.
You won't say. But I'm going to say that it's a really different feeling when you are in a relationship with a man and he knows that you know how to treat yourself well. He knows that you know how to touch yourself and stimulate yourself. And I'm going to say even bring yourself to orgasm. That's something that's even pleasurable for someone to watch.
Exactly.
So, and that in itself is very tantalizing and titillating in a relationship.
Yes, it is.
I throw that in there. But I'm very good at that, Dr.
Well, we are all as we live, and you're right, Rachel. It's important for that. But we are, like I said, we're so repressed, and because, and I can honestly say that Rachel, myself, and a few of the queens that I am personally connected with that are my girlfriends, who I love to death, who are my ride-or-die chicks who are just, we get each other. We have decided to live our lives free. Live our lives without conditions. Live our lives loving, giving, and sharing. And no, not everybody deserves it, but then, what happens is they usually fall away. We just, I know for me, if I become attracted or involved with a man, I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to love it up. I'm going to show a person that I care. But after a while, if I don't receive the caring back, of course, we have to move on. And I suggest that for all the men and women out there, if not everybody deserves a front row seat in your life, not everybody's ready when you're ready, or not everybody's where you are. Because, like I said earlier, love comes with all these different constraints, rules, regulations, and I personally believe that love should be free. And I know how to do me, boo. I know how to do what makes me smile. I would love someone else to share it, but I'm starting with it. So you're getting somebody that's pretty happy. That's right. Yeah. It's a wonderful thing. I'm pretty complete. We're heading down to the last 9 minutes of the show. And I have an inbox. I'm arguing with an inbox friend of mine named Mr. Scott. I'm not going to give him his first name. He's listening to the show. He is flirting real hard in here. And I want to say I love you, but if you don't call in, I am not giving you any more attention because it's a radio show.
Hey, that's right.
I'm on Twitter. And as the gentleman said from Florida, I apologize, but I do receive a lot of pictures and I receive a lot of inboxes, and I try my best because I'm working from home to get to them. All junk. I done called Mr. Scott out, so he is on the line. I'm going to let him come in right now, and I'm only going to give him 3 minutes. Y'all time it.
Okay.
Morning, Mr. Scott.
Yes, I was just getting ready to take my shower. I'm sitting here with my
Lord. Hi, Mr. Scott. How are you, babe?
Oh, I'm doing fabulous. I'm just feeling real nasty tonight, so I'm doing good,
Oh, my God.
Passionately nasty.
Amazing poet.
What
do you want to say to me, Mr. Scott? Okay, I'm going to let you have your fun tonight. I'm going to pleasure you.
Oh, please, I have some peppermint soap for us tonight, Marsha. And I'm just going to really do you today. But listen, something that I want to read to you, and the name of it is called A Taste in My Thoughts. And let me read this real good to you because I got to get to the shower, Marsha.
Do your thing, baby.
Is your partner there, too?
Yes,
my ride-or-die chick, Rachel Satiafa.
Okay, well, I just want to know. I like a threesome. Okay, so anyway.
You got 2 minutes, Mr. Scott. Do your thing.
Okay.
I know you lost a minute.
Go for it, brother.
But you illuminate my existence, and you have captured that part of me which will always be yours to please yourself with. I enjoy showering with you, Marsha, and placing you against the wall of the shower and exploring those regions of you which cause you to tremble in anticipation of me. It was marvelous, all in your magnificence, and I am so grateful that you chose me to give yourself to. And when it is all said and done, I can make it through the next day with a taste of you in my thoughts. You gonna leave your taste in my thoughts, Marsha?
Yeah.
Well, bring it up, bro. There it is.
I mean, really, I need to know that. Can I just savor the talk, like a piece of meat falling out my tooth, reminding me of the meal I had? Would you leave me with something to think about?
Ooh, yeah.
Yes, Mr. Scott.
Don't be hesitant because I have to take my shower. You have to be direct with me.
BQ, you on your own with this one. I'm out. I'm sorry.
You're on your own, Butterfly.
I know I'm in trouble. Now my
Butterfly.
left me.
All right, I have to
Butterfly,
go
you're
now.
on your own.
I have to go take my shower now, but it's been nice, and I'm going to savor you in my imagination, and I am going to chew on you a little bit tonight in my thoughts, okay?
I'm glad to be your friend,
my
Mr.
God.
Scott. Thank you for calling the Butterfly Queen After Dark radio show, and it's my pleasure.
Okay, let me speak in tongue a little bit.
Good night,
Okay.
Mr. Scott.
Good night, Mr. Scott. Thank you, Mr. Scott.
God.
Oh, I'm fanning. All right, we are heading down to the last 5 minutes of the show. Mr. Scott is an amazing erotic poet. He writes poetry of love and romance, and he has a book. I don't know the name of the book, but he has a book out, and I will share it on our show. But he is a kind of like a fan of the Butterfly Queen, so I'm glad.
And he is.
Love you, darling.
But speaking of sharing things very quickly, very quickly, I want your audience to be aware.
Thank you so much for making me blush and smile.
Yes.
I want to, before we leave, I want to thank my guests. We never have enough time. Mr. Love Jones, I got to have you back. I'm thinking like August. We got to do this again. Sir James, I know you're only a phone call away. I'm going to start using that phone dial. I'm going to give you all 1 minute, 30 seconds to impart something that you would like to share with our listening audience, because the Butterfly Queen After Dark show, the radio show, we talk about love, sex, and romance, but we're classy, never trashy, and we always want to leave you with something empowering. And that brother from Florida made me feel like we were doing what we were supposed to do. Earl Scott, kind of made me, hot. But, I get what he was talking about. And you guys being here with me just made me smile. So, Mr. Love Jones, Dr. Love Jones, please, 30 seconds. Give it to me.
First off, I want to tell y'all my birthday's on the 22nd of this very month. So,
we can try.
Yeah. Turn up. Yes. But also, I want to leave with this message and I always leave this to anybody, is that no matter where your situation's at right now, whether if it's good, bad, or indecent, just know that your present is going to be the past one day. You're going to look back and you're going to laugh, cry, however. But you got to know that your future will one day be your present. So if you believe you have a bright future, if you believe in your future, then you're going to be able to be in that light right now in the future. So
Thank you. And Sir James, 30 seconds, my love.
Okay, Doctor, your birthday is coming. Come to Richmond. We're going to show you how we do Virginia's for Lovers. And secondly, I've learned a valuable lesson in my life that I can take all this passion and stuff too serious, relationship stuff too serious, and I lose who I am. So I focus on my success because it brings me pleasure, brings me passion. And so when I'm looking successful, I'll attract people like I am. So my concentration is being the best that I can be, and that's my moment of pleasure.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Rachel, do you want to say something before we close out tonight?
Yeah,
babe?
I just wanted to let people know we got a lot of things going on. Marsha, Butterfly Queen, BQ International, is doing great things with Flirt Lashes online. Go check her out. Also, we have a huge fitness expo coming up on June 28th called Fit for a Queen. I'll say it again, Fit for a Queen. And we're going to have all kinds of games and prizes and marathons and speakers and vendors coming out so you can get fit in your romantic life, your financial life, your emotional life, and your spiritual life. Again, June 28th, and that's right here in Richmond, Virginia. Also, if you want to have more of the Butterfly Queen, Slantress Magazine, get that magazine. Wonderful layout with the Queen and her king in her court.
I love my kings. Real Kings of Richmond, I love you.
Yes, shout them out, shout them out. So it's a wonderful article and a wonderful magazine, so you guys look for that too. Also, you can catch the Butterfly Queen this coming Saturday on May 9th at her wonderful event at the Top, which is in Shockoe Bottom, also here in Richmond, Virginia, honoring our mothers, and she is the guest speaker for the night, so make sure that you get that and be there. And just look for us on Facebook all the time, Butterfly Queen and Rachel Satiafa. We have a lot of wonderful things to offer to you. Thank you.
And I want to thank you all, and I want to end in saying that I hope we fulfilled your pleasure tonight. It was our pleasure pleasing you. And remember, take time to establish pleasure rituals in your life each and every day. Light a candle. Look in the mirror and smile, as Dr. Love Jones stated. And as our artist, resident artist, Sir James stated, just do things that make you feel good. And as Rachel said, just live life, love, and have great and amazing sex. And from the Butterfly Queen, I want to impart to you, thank you again for calling all over the world, the country. I'm sorry we couldn't answer all of our calls, and I truly apologize for our little technical difficulties, but it is what it is, and we got to let it flow the way it does. And I want to part in saying to you, I love you, I thank you, and Earl Scott, go to bed. And more importantly, never, ever settle for anything less than butterflies, because you are enough. Good night. See you next month.
Good night.